guys, Twintuitive717 here. I'm back with another reading. I'm going to dive into the Divine Masculine Collective for the Twin Flames. And I want to say that specifically because, just you guys know how it is on the Twin Flame journey, okay? You're always connected to your masculine. Your masculine is always connected to you. It doesn't matter what you guys are going through on your own individual journeys, on your own individual paths, somehow it always mirrors back to one another. Okay, so I am using the erotic oracle because I do feel a lot of longing coming from the masculine collective, and so I want to tap into that a little bit more and just see what the cards have to say around this lingering energy. Okay, the theme is longing for you, Divine Feminine. So we have fidelity, okay? So someone may be realizing that, or I feel like both of you could be realizing that no matter how much you play tug and war on this journey, this lesson between you two is around preserving the love between you two, okay? So I do see like karmic lines attached to both of you. And no matter how many times you replay your union, there needs to be clear energy flowing just between the two of you, okay? So fidelity is playing a big role right now because I do feel like maybe many of you are surrendering to the journey or letting your divine masculines go, because if it's not just maybe a sense of flow between the two of you, then you don't want it at all. And I feel like fidelity also tells me that maybe many of you have engaged in the triangle effect where it's you and your masculine, and then the masculine and the karmic. It could be vice versa. It could be both of you with karmics, keeping this connection secret, okay? And realizing harsh lessons around all of the multiple energies. You can't be in a relationship with more than one person at a time. And I feel like, to each his own. Maybe many of you might disagree, whatever the case is, but I do feel like twin flames play a vital role in being a constant reminder that, there is a preservation of that energy between two. So I feel like the Divine Feminines are making the decision to let go of any baggage that is attached to the journey. If it's not flow between you and your Divine Masculines, then you don't want it at all. But he's having a hard time walking away from you. It's like he never expected that you were going to ascend to this point, because I feel like maybe the old cycle that you two were in, there was maybe some sort of attachment to one another in the physical. It's like the soul is excited to experience like the pleasures. I see maybe like the pomegranates here growing in the tree that are ripe and fruitful, and there's lots of seeds. I feel like there was a lot of excitement in connecting with one another in the physical. Maybe even the intimacy was wonderful. The rose as well, the tattoo here, you're his sweetheart. You'll always be the sweetest flower in the garden. And specifically for that reason as well, where you're actually sending him away and you're letting him know, like, I can love you from afar, but as far as having access to my energy, like, it needs to just be you. And I feel like it's like for the divine masculines as well, just having the whole 3D experience, it's very difficult for a man to wrap their head around the idea of just being with one woman. And I'm just going to say that, like, on the table, say that honestly. But I don't know, there's something about this Divine Feminine that is preserving true connection, preserving true love. And you're the biggest temptation, because I feel like he doesn't want to leave that gate because he knows that there's nothing else out there that's going to match your vibration. And many of them may very well go ahead and exit the gate. The problem is that their energy becomes quite exhausted. We do have here passion as well. Okay, you're always going to be wrapped around this Divine Masculine's finger, in a sense, Divine Feminine. And I feel like maybe many of them could be learning that lesson through fidelity. You're choosing to stay true to yourself. You're choosing to stay true to the journey, with the feelings that you have, to your Divine Masculine. If it's, again, not that flow between you and I, then I'm going to surrender this. I'm going to let it go. Even though there may be a lot of passion there. And in fact, I feel like maybe passion is what's growing between you two right now, because we do have transgression as well. So he was asking you to go against your moral code, Divine Feminine. That's what I feel transgression is. He wanted you to go backwards. He wanted you to mold you into something with the Fidelity card here. That's why I feel like there's a sense of like him hesitating to walk out that gate, because I don't know, like I feel like maybe for a while temptation did get the best of you in this card here, because, you know, not only is the snake there, you know, in the background with a sense of I want to say temptation and passion there. Like for me, the snake definitely represents the temptation of just masculine energy, Divine Feminine, okay? A very human thing, a very human experience, that raw passion and attraction between you two, right? The strings here as well represents the sense of being so intertwined in each other's energy that, you know, many of you have gone against your moral codes on this twin flame journey. Many of you have done things that you said that you would never do, and then boom, all of a sudden in an instant, you're in a situation that you never thought that you would be in. And I feel like somehow it's all coming back now to many of you. Like there's a sense of balance that's being restored, where maybe some of you did go against your moral code. Maybe temptation on the journey did get the best of you. Because with Fidelity, I'm also getting adultery. I'm also getting just, you know, curiosity, true love getting the best of you. Again, being so engulfed in one another's energy, so intertwined in the euphoria and the feeling of ecstasy with one another, that you had that very human experience of biting into the apple, which is why I feel like we have this image here. You really gave in. But, you know, many of you are going through this journey now where you have healing taking place. Now we have 2 cards with him at a distance, okay? And I feel like this is beautiful because it represents your divine masculines having to let you go. And this is the biggest struggle so far on the journey, because I do feel like with the Fidelity card, many of you have made a lot of attempts to keep them at bay or keep them at a distance, and even vice versa. But with the whole twin flame experience, especially with the passion there, that string, as we all know, many of us, you know, OGs on the journey, that red string that, you know, connects you. I mean, it's a real thing. You know, it really is a real thing. And I do feel like it represents that healing is taking place for a lot of you who are choosing to stay true to yourselves, who said, yes, I made a mistake. I was going along with something that it got the best of me. The passion got the best of me. I bit into the apple. But I'm allowed to make mistakes, and I'm also allowed to stop myself, and I'm also allowed to say that I want to choose to heal from this, and I don't want this anymore if this is how it's going to be. Because that's what I feel from this card here with him walking away. It's like you two don't want to be at a distance from one another. And we do have the initials M and G on here, so that could be significant for some of you. I feel like, you know, many of you you're making the decision to choose to heal by letting go. Like it hurts for both of you to let this go. And I feel like even your divine masculines at the gate here know they have to go. The hand up on the gate suggests that they really don't want to. Okay? The hand up on the gate suggests, are you sure I can come back there? And I feel like many of you are like, no. You know, I want this, but again, it's got to be this way. You know, look at the difference in the energy. There's love between you two, but what's the sense if he's got to go back every time, if he's got to leave, right? For many of you, that is that big, you know, gulp to swallow on the journey, or that big lump in your throat, is that, you know, transgression represents like a lot of you have done things that it's like, okay, because of the twin flame journey, maybe I can make this work. Let's enter this love triangle. And then it's like, you know, reality catches up and you realize that, yeah, regardless of the twin flame journey, you have to stay true to your heart. You have to stay true to yourself. You have to be authentic, and you got to let this go. And I feel like the healing represents like the letting go. I mean, the letting go and the surrendering. It's like literally mourning the loss of something great, something profound, something that, you know, at the end of the day, you really can't lose, you can't let go of. But the fact that you surrender anyway and you try, it promotes that healing. So I do feel like for a lot of you, this reading represents a lot of clarity coming through from a lot of your divine masculines in terms of like who you are and who they are as well. I feel like this is the reason they fell in love with you in the first place, is because this is who you are. This is who you were. And many of your divine masculines too could be having a lot of thoughts around like the mirror effect. Like I feel like a lot of them are having the mirror pointed back to them, where they feel like how could they have dragged you into this mess, or how could they have tried to turn you into something that you are not, but you realized that on your own and you walked away from it. Okay, so that's ideally what I'm feeling for this quick little check-in here. I don't know who this is going to resonate for. I'm going to have to come up with a nice cheeky title, okay, guys? But yeah, that's just what was coming up. I hope you guys have enjoyed. You guys have a wonderful night, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, take care, guys. Bye.